Welcome into the channel. We are on week 5 of our case study for Joe Homebuyer Utah location. It's a 10-week case study. We're halfway through. So for today, what we're going to do is kind of step back, look at the big picture, see what we've accomplished essentially a month in, how we're going towards our goals on what we're trying to accomplish, then jump into last week what we did, and then looking forward what we're planning on doing in the future. So first, the purpose of this case study was to take a site that was primarily a pay-per-click and an ads-based site and transition it into being more of an organic search site. The goal, really, the goal is revenue, right, which comes from leads. So let's just start out looking at big picture and see how we're doing. So this is since we started June 20th, and you can see. Right now, direct is by far the largest in terms of traffic. And then those three are all ads, and then organic search is down there in 5th. And if we look at conversions, it's going to tell the same story, right? So direct is by far the biggest, and then ads, and then organic search, and then we've got some other ones after that. So let's compare that really quickly. So let's go back. Actually, let's look all time first. So let's go back to the beginning. Okay, so if we look since the site started a couple years ago, we can look at the trend on it. As soon as it comes, we can look at this chart right here, and we can see that we're having a little bit of a unique pop-up that we haven't had before. So in terms of that many users all at once, we've never gotten daily new users to that rate before. The highest would be back here with through ad spend, right? The cross network going up there. So that's fantastic. And then let's compare the shape of this. If we look back before, so let's end it June 19th. Just June. So this is what it looked like before we started. And you can see, still coming. So direct was the largest, just barely, and then those three other ones, and then display. And again, direct just kind of means unknown from Google's perspective. So they're thinking it's either somebody typed it straight in, or they had it bookmarked, or they texted or emailed it to a friend, or something like that. And so the direct, it's hard to know how to attribute it, which is why it's there. In our case, the only changes that we've made are the SEO type changes that with the content that we are making, and so we are essentially receiving credit for that jump up. And I'll show you one more time what the jump up looks like. So if we go from the 20th, so let's go the 20th through, through today. And you can see, so this is what it looked like before, and then now we can see how much bigger a piece direct has. So that's kind of the big picture. So how are we accomplishing that, and how are we coming on it? So the first is we just want to create a lot of content, right? So if you look, this is how big, this is the site when we started, and this is where it is now. So it was at about 91 pages, and they were pretty small pages. A lot of them were actually just copied and pasted, literally the exact same pages. So we were at about, it's about 18,000 words. We're up 460,000 words, 279 pages. We've grown a lot, and then really we've been focusing the last couple weeks on these location-based pages, so trying to focus in on Salt Lake and see what we can get there. If we scroll down, there's impressions. We're basically a month in. We've had essentially an average month, which that's looking at all time. So again, in fact, I can show you. If you look here, this shows all time. And you can see it used to be a lot more organic stuff would come in, and then it's come down, and then it's come down again, and then now we're starting to see an uptick. back up, and we'll obviously want to continue to get that back up to where it was and even better. And so if you look in month one, in terms of clicks, we're an average lifetime average, which I'll take that. You know what I mean? So if you're looking back to years ago when they did a lot better and whatnot, I would take an average on that. Obviously, we'll beat it. We'll want to beat it this next month. In terms of how we're ranking, we can jump into this. And again, the reason why I use it in why I use my own dashboards is number one, I filter it out to just show US, and then I combine. There are two in here actually. So this is where the majority of the traffic comes from. Is this HTTPS version? There's an HTTP version as well. It's a lot lower volume, particularly in terms of impressions, higher volume in terms of click. And again, it tells the same story. It was lower there, then it jumped up, it's been higher, and then lately it's been lower, and then we're obviously wanting to turn it around and have more coming. So anyway, so what we're seeing is, so impressions in terms of this, and so this is the last week that we were not involved, and then we started getting involved here. So impressions up just a little bit from last week. And average position down just a little bit. We want to continue that. Clicks, 11 clicks, click-through rates, okay. We want to improve that as well. And then if we scroll down, this is pretty exciting. Average number of search terms is going up, and that's pretty good growth. So we obviously want when people search various things that are related to us, we want to pop up in there, obviously. This last week, what we've done is prior to this previous week, virtually all of the pages we were creating were orphan pages. We split and focused on content creation first, and then now we're going to continue doing content creation, but we'll add in the links as well, just to demonstrate the difference. If you have a site that has a lot of content, but you have not implemented much of an internal linking strategy, you'll be able to see both this week and going forward what a big difference that can make. So that's what we've done. So in terms of reporting, this isn't a great report, but it shows what we're doing in terms of our blog pages. And really the first is focusing on these orphan pages. So we have 193 total pages. And like I said, as of last week, they were all orphans. We're down to about 80. We'll continue picking that off. And then we've added about 7,300 links. Of those, 3,800 of them are internal, meaning they're pointing back to another blog page, and then the rest are going out. And then the unique anchor text is how many different anchor text we have. That's really important. You don't want to have the same. For example, Joe Homebuyer is great. We don't want to have all of the links be every time it says Joe Homebuyer pointing it either back to the homepage or back to somewhere else. We want to vary that. That makes a huge difference in terms of the results. So in terms of looking forward, that's what we'll continue to work on next week. So we'll continue to publish. And again, I should have pointed this out, but our publishing did slow a little bit. As you can see over the last week, we still published a little bit, but not a lot. So we'll continue to publish a handful of pages, and then really we're going to focus on that internal linking, with the goal being, particularly in Salt Lake, trying to get more of those searches and ultimately more of those conversions, generating revenue. If you're interested in participating in a case study, we're looking in particular for somebody that has a large volume of pages, but is not getting the results that they're wanting, to see if we can do that, and or somebody that is trying to focus on particular locations. So if, whether that's kind of a service-based company with a website that's local or that's spread out, but there are certain metropolitan areas that you're trying to highlight, we're looking for a couple of case studies to do for that as well. So if either of those match you, then please reach out to us. We'd love to work something out. If you want to see how the internal linking continues to work, please subscribe to the channel or like the video. If you have any questions or anything that you'd like to see addressed, leave that in the comments below. Thank you for your time and watching the video, and have a great rest of your day.